Good afternoon. Brian Paragamian, Senior Trader and Co-Founder of ProfessionalStockTraderLive.com, and another splendid day here on Wall Street. Of course, we're not surprised. We've been looking for it. We talked going back, over a week, 2 weeks ago that everything was setting up for a market turn. Here, just of the recent time, the McClellan Alpha was so oversold, yet it was telling us it was screaming a buy signal as we had higher lows on it. We heard Kramer in the Wall Street Journal talking about, 5,000 Dow. You could cut the tension with a knife. We got extremely bullish, and we still are bullish here. Our first objective was and has been met in this area here up into this 7,100, 71 and a quarter area. Now above here, we think we're going up into this line here, which pushes us up into the 74 to 7,500 zone. As we zoom out of this here, we think we're headed up into the zone right here, where we broke down from 74.49. I think it makes perfect sense to push on up there again. This is where we think we're headed in the coming days and weeks. And the way this market's going, it's not going to be weeks. It's a matter of another trading day or two. We're not necessarily saying tomorrow or Monday, but with this type of rally activity, it's not going to take too long to get up into that 7,400 area. And this is how it happens in a bear market. It happens fast and it happens vicious. And as you can see here, we're nowhere overbought on the RSI. If we go ahead and take a look and flip this over to a stochastics, we're going to take a look that we're not going to show anywhere being overbought on this either. We're nowhere close to the top of the Bollinger Band. We're in absolutely great shape. As you can see here, we're pushing right up against the 20-day moving average now, and we think that is the first spot where we thought it would kind of run into some resistance. Above there, we think it goes even higher, up into the price target we've talked about, the 74 to 7,500 zone. Now, even though the stock market is up, we played a stock on the short side today. And, of course, it was our favorite gold stock that we like to play either on the long or short side, and it was AEM, Agnico Eagle Mines. We talked about this here several days in advance that we wanted to see a rally back up into this cluster of resistance. Sure enough, we got it today. We traded up to 50 3/4. We got short the stock at 50.58, covered it up underneath 49 for $1.50 profit. How do you like that, folks, for a nice trade? So you can play both sides of the market despite the market going up or down. Now, we still are negative on gold. I don't see any reason for gold being up this much. It's not like and here you see gold up 14, trading at 924.30. It's not like the dollar is collapsing. It's not like we have any real inflation worries. Speaking of inflation, China came out this week here and talked about some economic reports that lead us to think that there may be some deflation taking place over there. Japan came out this morning, talked about how poor their GDP is. Their GDP is at a negative 12%, 12.1%. Absolutely terrible. We came out with a negative 6.2 not too long ago. So despite the market rally, I'm not going to go goo-goo on the upside here. I thought it would come. I'm playing for the rally, but I am going to look to get short up into that zone, 7,400 to 7,500, and I'm going to lean on them, and I'm probably going to lean on them pretty good because I don't think we can really rally a whole lot past, probably the 7,700 to 7,800. So I don't think I've got a whole lot of risk, and the 7,800 comes in, the 50-day moving average up here at 7,852. So if I get short up in that 7,400 to 7,500 area, I don't have a whole lot of risk, I don't think, because we're going to come right back down. I think we're going to find a big zone of resistance up here if we get through this 74, 7,500. The max we can rally to is 7,800. What the heck? That would be how much off the bottom? That would be 1,400 off the bottom, some 20%. That's about all you can expect up off the bottom. Now, I'm certainly not calling for that. I'm just saying that's where you potentially could go on the upside. But I would be looking at the 74 to 7,500 to get short. That's what I'm doing. Speaking of shorts, let's go ahead and take a look at one shorting idea that we're going to look at, just not quite yet, but we'd like to get short Sears Holding. The stock, despite it being up here $1.38 today, really hasn't done a whole heck of a lot here in the last, couple of sessions. Sure, now it's up $4 or $5 off the bottom. I just don't like the tape action. I don't like the volume action in it. I think it's unimpressive. It traded up to its 50-day moving average here a couple days ago or yesterday. I think the stock can look to be shorted up in this area with a tight stop above the market. Or I would look to get short the stock below this 34.5, 35 area, which I think is going to come into play again here down the road. Another stock that I will touch base on that we do like and we're bullish on and we are long via a swing trade is Hawaiian Electric, ticker symbol HE. As you can see here, the stock is very, very oversold, turning up. The risk-reward favors the bulls. And we're looking for a retracement back to the 15-16 area, 15-16 on the stock, towards its 20-day moving average. You can see here the stock put in some decent volume here the last couple days. Again, now today the volume is a little bit on the lighter side. But look here down below. Look at the stochastics here. Look at how oversold it is, just going on buy signal the last couple days. I love this position here. I think the risk-reward favors the bulls. We're long the stock from 13.07. We got stops below the market at 12.25. You can see here above 13.30 the stock breaks out here as I go ahead and extend this this drawing here to the right on the trend line. You can see here we're above the price level here, 13.30. You can see up here trading 13.42. So the stock is on a breakout, and as we zoom out of this here a little bit, just take a look at how hard the stock has been hit. I mean, this stock was $22 back in early February. Now you're talking $12. This is an electric company, Hawaiian Electric. I like it. They've got a great dividend. I'm not in it for the dividend, but they did report back in February, I think it was February 21st, that the dividend is safe and secure. So I like this stock here going forward. I think we can play for 15, 16 on it. The risk reward is absolutely great. The other stock that we still are currently long is SQNM. This here is a stock that I really like as well. You can see it just coming up off a basing formation here. I think the stock has to regain its, well, and it just has done it, regain its 1440 breakout and downtrend that we had talked about here a couple days ago, as we'll go ahead and draw the downtrend in again. I like seeing the tape action here now that the stock is starting to pick up with the rest of the stock market. Again, this is a stock we think can be played from the long side for a period of time. I think quite possibly this is a stock we can play up into the top of the Bollinger Band. So maybe we see the 16.5, 17 area up in here. But again, here's a company that came out with some positive news. I think it was overlooked by Wall Street. They talked about a prenatal testing to identify Down syndrome in babies. So I think this is a stock that could have some real big legs to it. We're long the stock. I absolutely love this position. We're ahead $1.50 on the trade now. We've got a break-even stop now that we're bringing up to a break-even on it at 13.25. So we've got two positions working real nicely. And then, of course, we're still long our DDM, which is acting great, up $1.26 on the day. So all in all, we're absolutely doing great. We're ahead a ton on the trades in up markets and down markets. We're hitting on all cylinders. We continue to plan on hitting on all cylinders. I don't have a whole lot to add because everything is going exactly as planned. So we're going to try and come back tomorrow morning with a live webcast. We may or may not be able to do it because we're going to be in a remote location. But if we don't, have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy the rally. Look for continued upside here in the coming days. And let's look for a short-term goal of 74.49, another 300 points on the Dow. And at that point, we're going to look to take profits and look to get short the market. Have yourselves a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday morning.